Hi guys, I want to share with you how I balance my props on my 250 260 size quad that I've recently built, and this is something that you can find online. Many people have attempted to show you how to balance props, and I guess they all work, and everyone has their own way of doing it. I found my way of doing it, and I think it works for me pretty well right now. And what I wanted to show you is this little thing here, which is a prop balancer you can buy online. It's very inexpensive, about $3 or $4. And what I found is that it didn't truly give me enough flexibility to balance my props properly. And what I mean by that is that it kind of limits you to how the blade can turn because of the short height here of the neck. So Painless 360 has a video on balancing that's very informative, and he explains how you have to balance your blades so that the two sides of your blades are equal. And he has a graph he shows us. It's very informative. And as soon as you get your blades balanced this way, then you have to look at the balancing of the hub, which is important as well. And I'm going to try to go into that a little bit here as well. Maybe not as good as he's doing it, but I'm going to share with you the way I balance my blades, and it works for me. So we start with this little thing, and he also explains how to basically balance these little wheels here that you need to have absolutely balanced, or else this is not going to work. So I just took a grinder to this and I tried to balance each individual wheel as much as I could. And so let's get this process going here. So we'll remove this, we'll pop in a blade, and I'm using right now 6-inch blades. I'm experimenting with that. I've flown with the 5-inch blades, 5x30, and this is a 6x30, meaning 6 long, and a 30 is the pitch on the blade. And I found that that works well for my quad for the PID settings that I have right now. So I've mounted the blade onto this gizmo here, and we'll try to balance it. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the heavier side of the blade right now. Before I do that, I completely forgot to mention to you that I had to level my cans, okay, using, you know, paper shims and stuff like that. So I'm leveling this way, make sure everything's level, and obviously this way as well. So now we're good to go. So this is obviously the heavier blade, and if I do this again, you're going to see that the heavier blade always wants to go to the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a piece of Scotch tape, and I'm going to stick it on the leading edge of the blade, of the lighter blade. And what I'll do is I'll start at midpoint like this, and I'll leave it loose here, and I'll explain to you why. So putting it back on here, what I'm looking for now is I'm looking for a balance between these two blades. And so the piece of tape that I put is a bit heavy, so what I can do is I can either cut it off or move it to the center here, more to the center. So let's say I put it over here somewhere. So that looks like maybe I put it too much to the center. Let's see, this way. It might be okay. Let me just check again on the other way. And this process can take a couple of minutes. It looks to be fine. What I can also do, just to make sure that these little wheels are properly balanced, so I want to turn them like a 1/4-inch turn and retighten it just to make sure that everything is balanced in case those little wheels are not totally perfectly balanced. So I want to repeat that process. I want to see what happens. It looks pretty okay, although there's one side that seems to want to be heavier. Maybe not. So once you get your two blades to be pretty much horizontal, that means they're both sides are equally heavy or the same weight. Now what you want to do is you want to look at there's still a bit of adjusting to do, so let me just try this. Move this wheel again. And you have to have a little bit of patience doing this. So that's good here. And moving these wheels a couple of times will kind of ensure that you have a good balance all the way through. So I think I'm pretty satisfied with that. So I'll go ahead and I'll turn over the Scotch tape. And what's good about the Scotch tape is that you can move it around and it's kind of transparent, so no matter what color you use, blades, you know, you're good with that. So the next thing I want to do is to look at, so now that I'm satisfied that the horizontals are fine, both are fine, what I want to do is I want to make sure that no matter which position I put it in, it's going to be stable. So you see here, I have a bit of a problem. It's trying to lean down. So if I do here, if I go here, it's going to want to lean down. And what that's telling me is that, let me just see what happens with here. What that's telling me is that there's a piece of hub here, there's a side of the hub that's actually heavier, and that wants to go down and find gravity. And it looks like, to me, it could be this side. There's a production kind of protrusion here where they injected the plastic. This might be the heavier side of the hub. And what you can do is, just again, I want to test it, and the heavier side of the hub will want to go down. So that's what it's doing right now. So if I place the heavier side of the hub up here, it's going to want to find somehow a way of getting down to the gravity. So if I put this here, now it's staying, put it here, see, it wants to pull this down. So that means it's just a tiny bit heavy. So if I do this, it should go down again. And it's going down. So what you could do is you could shave off, I'm trying to find my tiny file that I have here. What you could do is you could take a file and shave off a tiny bit of material from this side, just to remove a slight material from here. And I've done it. It's very, very tiny. That might just do the trick. And if the hub is balanced, no matter where you put your blade, at no matter what angle, it's going to want to stay there pretty much. So the horizontal should be fine. And if we do this, it's going to want to stay. And let's just turn the wheels a little bit. So let's say we do this. Try horizontal again. We try diagonal. The side that I shaved is the bottom side of the hub. So it looks like this blade is now balanced. So there you go. So just to recap, find some cans instead of this thing here, instead of the magnetic holder. That way your blade can spin around and you can get a bit more flexibility and trying to evaluate the stability of this blade. So shim your cans with the level and then pop in the blade with these wheels. Make sure to balance your wheels before those little prop holders, and then pop on your prop, find your horizontal line, make sure your horizontal works on both sides. And then you have to balance your hub. So your hub will want to pull down a horizontal from one side or the other if you put it at a diagonal. So then you'll know which side of the hub is the actual heavier side. So there you go, guys. That's how I've managed to balance my props, and it seems to be working fine for me. So I hope this helps you out, and happy flying. Thanks for watching. Take care.